Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Please don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe for more videos. And we're just gonna get straight into this video. Before I start this video, I want to say thank you to everyone that showed me love on my last video. It was really hard to record, and I questioned myself. Today is the stages of grief, and my stages are a little bit different and a little bit unique due to the fact that I actually witnessed the shooting or the crime. I'm just targeting the stages of grief after like a violent crime. And if you're like a witness, if you actually seen a violent crime taking place, and just from my experience, what I actually went through. First stage was denial. I denied the fact that the situation even happened. I was even in denial that my boyfriend was actually dead. Just due to the circumstances, for whatever reason, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like that the police was just trying to protect him. And that for the longest that they just like, that he was alive, but they just like, they had to do what they had to do basically to protect him. So I was in denial for the longest that he had even passed away. I was in denial for the longest that the situation had even happened. And what goes in hand with that, which is I feel like the next stage, which is shock. I was completely in shock. I feel like when your body goes through something very traumatic, if you read up on it, like post-traumatic stress syndrome, PTSD, which is what I suffered from when the situation happened. And I didn't even realize I had it until I actually decided to go to therapy. And I actually had talked to my doctor. And yeah, and then I had a referral because I was a victim of a violent crime. So you get a referral for you and like whoever else, which was my children. At first, the referral was just for me and Heavenly because we were actually there. But due to the fact of my oldest daughter having to be dragged into every court date, the preliminary hearings and everything else that I was going through, we thought it would be best for all of us to get therapy, but that's later on down the line. So, yeah. So basically, shock is what you go through. It's really traumatic. So your brain doesn't know how to deal with that much stress. And it causes you to like shut down. And so, yeah, that was one of the things that I dealt with. Also, another thing is numbness, like completely numb and completely like out of it. And a lot of people will think that you're here and you're functioning because you may have to function. Me being a mother, like I still had to be a mother. I didn't have anyone that could come and pick up my children when I was going through this situation. Like I had my kids every single day through the situation. Like I didn't even have a break to kind of like get my thoughts together because at the end of the day, I was still a mom and I had to take care of my children. So, you go through a state of like, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it's like you are here, you're functioning, but you're really not functioning. It's kind of like you're a robot. And like in your life, you have day-to-day routines that you're used to doing. And so it's like you're doing them, but it's not, it's like your body, your soul, whatever it is, like, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it's like, I was not myself. I was not me. And I was just here. And I was doing things that I normally do, but I was not functioning. And so that's part of it. You just totally are disconnected from the world. And yeah, you're totally disconnected from the world. Also, another thing is that you go through a state of like nobody understands, especially like if you've witnessed a crime being done, or you have been involved in a crime done to yourself. You just know nobody can ever understand or begin to understand what you're going through. And so it feels like you're basically alone, like you're literally just by yourself. And even though you can be in like literally a room full of people and you can literally feel 100% alone. And that's happened to me. Like, I would go around family members, I would go around old friends, I would go around my church family, and it was all those people around me, but I felt alienated. I felt alone. Um, yeah, I just felt alone. Another thing that you go through is I went through guilt. Like, I felt guilty that my daughter was there, even though I had no control over it. I felt guilty and I felt responsible for just the whole situation, because I felt like I wasn't aware due to me drinking. My thinking wasn't 100% on point. I wasn't paying attention to signs that I could have paid attention to. So like in the newspaper and in the reports, a lot of times you would have seen, like, if you read the newspaper and you live in my area, you would have read and seen, like, you kept saying it was my fault, it was my fault. And it wasn't because I actually did anything to allow it to be my fault, but I took the blame because I wasn't aware of my surroundings. I trusted people that I should not have trusted. I felt like I let my daughter down because of the fact that she was actually there. And as a mother, you feel like that you are a protector over your children. And I felt like I let him down because there was nothing I can do for him. You know, like, there's nothing you can do for someone that's fighting for their life. It's absolutely nothing that you can do, you know? And so yeah, you go through, well, not everyone, because my case is a little different, but in some type of way, maybe you can feel guilt. Also, another stage of my grief is isolation. I isolated myself from a lot of people because I felt as though that no one truly genuinely cared, due to the fact that when I needed people, there was I literally had no one. Like, no one showed up and was at court dates with me. It was just me and my children, and I had to rely on the comfort of my advocate, my victim advocate, which is Cynthia, which I love Cynthia. Like, she is completely amazing, and she was there for complete emotional support, and I could not have made it through her. And also I don't really want to say his name, but like he knows who he is, and uh he was he was completely amazing, and he made sure that me and my children were 100% safe going into court, because at the end of the day it was a serious situation where our life was in danger. So um we had to be surrounded by police officers, and we just went through like a whole thing. Like it was literally like out of a movie. Like we didn't go in I didn't go into court like normal people. There is ways that they have to take you. There's a protocol. They have to have, you have to, it's kind of like, I wonder if that's like kind of how the president feels, when he's being protected. Like you have all these police officers that like surround you. They make sure that they're there when you get in the car. They make sure, all that stuff. So yeah, you go through that. I went through a stage of isolation because I felt like nobody really cared. I felt very unsupported, um, very unsupported, and very alone. And that's another stage of grief. You feel loneliness. Um, yeah, I felt very alone. I felt like I was on an island all by myself and I didn't have anyone. And yeah, so that's one of the stages I went through. Also, I went through a stage of like I'm still in this stage actually as we speak, because of certain circumstances. You just don't trust anyone, and it starts to trickle down into your relationships with your family and with your friends, and it's really like severe. And I haven't even spoken this to anyone, but um due to me trusting people that I should not have trusted, that actually due to me trusting people that I shouldn't have trusted in the situation, I I question everything. And it's kind of like you kind of get to a point where you're paranoid because you feel like people are like against you, like people don't like you, like there's chatter going on, just due to the situation that I was in with my boyfriend. And people talk because they don't know exactly what happened. So yeah, I just was paranoid of what people were saying about me, paranoid of just like going certain places. Also because I was held at gunpoint. So like there's a stage where there's triggers. There are certain movies that I cannot watch. If I see anything with gun violence, like I used to love the criminal channel, investigation channels and things like that. And I kind of like at a point I was like literally obsessed with them, because I just wanted to know how criminals, like how people's minds work that actually kill people. And just you have triggers. So it could be sounds like the 4th of July. I absolutely hate the 4th of July. I don't want to hear it. Any loud noises due to like guns, I don't, to this day, like if I hear any loud noises, I'm paranoid. Well, I don't want to speak that over me, but yeah, I get antsy, because I don't want to say paranoid. Like I don't want to speak that over me, because like, I'm in God, and I'm supposed to believe in God, to help to heal me from this. But this is just the reality of what's going on. Certain times at night, because I live alone, so if I hear certain noises at night, because of the guy coming up my stairs and pointing the gun at my head, I go through stages of, like, just very, just very on edge. Also, I don't like to go outside at night because, like, due to, you know, um, just due to dealing with everything, the gun being pointed at my head, just due to not knowing, you know, you just don't know, just people are crazy. So it's just like, I don't like to go outside at night. I don't like to be in public places, and a lot of people didn't understand. Like, I know, like, I like joked about it, and like, I don't like being around people, and really it's not like, it's really because, like, I really just don't like, it just got me to a point where I'm like literally paranoid. So I don't like to be around a lot of people or surrounded by a lot of people where I don't know who they are, because there's a lot of people involved in this situation that I don't know who they are. I don't know what they look like. So, you know, yeah, so that's another thing. It's a lot. It's a lot. And there's probably some things that I'm missing out, but for the most part, that's the gist of it. The stages that you go through with grief, or with witnessing violent crimes or anything like that, those are the stages that you go through. And so hopefully this video may help anyone that's like has a family member that's going through it. They might be going through it. I'm just basically just, it's just on my heart to help. Like, I didn't go through this. I feel like God does not put us in situations for, sometimes it's not for ourselves, and it's to help others through certain things. So you may not actually have been through this, and you not going through this, you probably don't understand. But hopefully, like, this video will be able to reach people that have been through this, that has actually witnessed a violent crime, that's actually, you know, had a crime committed against them, whether they, you know, survived against it, whatever the case may be. You know, I just want to use my platform to speak up against this, because I'm totally against violence of any way, shape, or form, but especially against gun violence. Like, I have like a strong dislike for it, a strong hatred towards it. And so yeah, I thank you guys. I know this video is pretty long, and you know, some will stay and some won't, but I just thank you for the ones that actually watched this video. And yeah, I just yeah, until next time, you guys, I'll see you guys in my next video.